Okay, so this will be a microscopic examination of 3 samples from the crucible. After we already had several iteration of burning and electrolysis. Now, what was new now is that I've actually added a very nice quantity, maybe like I don't know, 200 milliliters, I guess, something like that, of a nice quantity of wax from the tainted wax with I didn't with tons of life form that can actually be seen in the naked eyes that were taken from the metallic containers. So I've added it to the crucible, so to replenish the fuel, after so much burn, and I've also added more turpentine. And another thing that was actually different was that there was a size, pretty sizable amount of pee, or more. It's not just pee, but aquarium container mixture that is based mostly on pee. That I placed there because I wanted the electrolysis to be more conductive, and oil is not conductive and wax is not conductive. So, but of course, it makes it much less flammable. So, this could see in the videos that is kind of there is a huge flame because of the enriched fuel, and the turpentine, but at the same time there's the pea that is kind of mixture that kind of revolves around it. And in general I would say that these were bigger fires than before and more prolonged electrolysis. So I expect I hope that we will see statistically significant results, which means that a very good amount of neurons and big, hopefully big ones, but I don't know. Let's watch. I didn't review the slides before, after I've taken them, and I took maybe an hour or 2 hours ago. So let's just watch it together, and hopefully we will be surprised for the best. But you can never know. For magnification. So I should just say that this light is the medium is kind of is brown, you see, because probably I'm not sure why. Maybe because of the pee, or maybe because of it's remnants of the burn. But anyway, it's much you see that it's almost all of the slide is colored with this brown, but translucent. So so it's still it's viable medium for backlight microscopy. And when you have such dark but translucent medium in the microscope, many times the neurons are very impressive, as you see now. You see how impressive they are? We've seen it in the past, several times. This, of course, is because light. You can see the light through them, and it's much more like it's bold. I mean, like, I mean, it's and beautiful. I mean, when the surrounding is dark. Maybe we should zoom in. No, let's continue and maybe zoom in later. So I'm not sure this one was a Neo, but I think it was. I don't know what is this. If it's a Neo, it's a huge one, but it's kind of like, I mean, I'm not sure. This is a life form, of course, so we can see that, I mean, even after like I mean, so much fire and very hot ones, we still see life forms. And this is even a creepy one, I should say. Wow. A disgusting and creepy one, and big one because it's 64 magnification. I'm not sure if this is life form or like, I mean, like Vadi, like, I mean, you know, like, I mean, part of the topography. Yes, you think it's life form, actually, and a disgusting one. Wow, oh my god. So, I mean, this should be like, I mean, placed in a museum, this life form. This looks like a beaten Neo, like, I mean, someone took a bite out of it. Probably there are much more smaller ones that we cannot see because of the dark. You see, like here we see a smaller, but it still is pretty big. I mean, usually we see much smaller ones, and I suspect that they exist, but they're just, I mean, that not enough light, I mean, can, I mean, pass through them, like through the Stargate, so they are clouded by the mixture, like by the brown mixture. Maybe you should zoom in here. Nice. This microscopy required like calibration. So this is maximum magnification. Let's try to see the Neo. We see, I mean, the flow. So where is the Neo? So let's get back to 64. Should be more viable, easier. So again, I suspect there are many more like smaller ones that is difficult to see because of this dark and crowded mixture. But the big one that, I mean, are very nice because of the passage of the light. This is a life form, of course. Yeah, we see more small ones here. Now I can see more small ones. Okay, in more small ones. Okay, so interesting slide. Let's continue. It's difficult to assess how many Neos are there because of this dark background, but we managed to see like the bright big ones, and I think it's certainly, if you're kind of new to the channel, it's kind of like a curiosity in itself. Even though in the past we've seen, I mean, when we've done the electrolysis electrolysis experiments. So when you conduct an electrolysis experiment, I mean, like in the metallic chamber with magnets, it's much more energetic. You reach like much higher amperes. So what happens is that the liquid is actually the molecules are separated to different like a set of molecules. This is a major characteristic of electrolysis that actually happens, and together with other things like that, ionization and galvanization, the whole the electrolysis is thing, I would say, physical phenomenon. What it actually is happening is ionization, galvanization, and almost always separation of the molecules in the medium to a different set of molecules, and sometimes you want only one effect is desired effect. Maybe you want galvanization because for manufacturing purpose, or ionization for reasons, or separation of molecules, which was I think it was the first usage of electrolysis that the separation of water to H2O to H2O2. Yes, it's kind of non-intuitive because you could expect that it would be separated to H2 to maybe H and O, or maybe H2 and O, but actually it is H2O is separated to H2O2, H2O2, but there are a million types of kind of separation. So this process in the metallic chamber is, with the magnets, creates a foam. This can be seen in many of the videos, and sometimes a very heavy layer of foam. Sometimes it's even it's kind of it gets out of the container because it's so much foam, and the foam is mostly very dark, but still translucent but dark, the medium that we've seen now, that was created not by this process, but it's very typical to highly energetic electrolysis chamber, and this is due to the fact that the separation of the medium to different molecules. I should just say that most probably all of this, from our point of view of energizing the neurons, is just at best it's non-harmful side effect, but probably it's certainly redundant, and unless there is special case when it depends what you want the neurons to do. They can do everything. They can create humans. So maybe you want them to do something that require oxygen, and you have water, and maybe electrolysis actually will help them because they will get the oxygen by this process. But in general, this is kind of a byproduct, and this is the same goes for ionization and galvanization. These are kind of byproducts that adds all sorts of uncertainties and makes the whole process of energizing the neurons much more complicated than presumably it could have been. That's why electrolysis is very non-intuitive method of energizing the neurons, and so cumbersome, and because the separation of the molecules and the ionization but it just I've used it almost always. I've used this method because it proved to work this is kind of a winning argument that it worked. I managed to create magnificent thing with that I couldn't when I tried to energize the neurons in other ways. So that's why I speak so much about electrolysis, because it was the major way for me to energize the neurons. Throughout several good months of experiments, but nevertheless, of course, it's evident that this is a very cumbersome method with many redundant and probably harmful side effects that make the whole process much more difficult to control. And I was reminded to follow this because because of the separation of the molecules, you get very you typically get dark foam, and so the many new neurons that are created are shining through this dark foam in a very similar way to what we've seen just now. So this is the second slide with less like dark background, but still some dark background. This is nice. I like the change of focus, like is different, like in the inside and the outside of the circle. You see very small ones, and also several big ones that are completely misshaped. I'm not sure that are even like that they are functional or alive, in other words. But maybe they do. Maybe I need to abandon like my expectation that they will always be circles. But I would like suggest that probably their natural like shape is a circle, and that if they are not, it's not for the best. But I don't have enough information to actually establish that. So see, very much more than like we've seen in the previous slide. Even though maybe because the previous one, the medium was so dark, so only the ones with like with tone of light that shines like through the Stargate, were visible. But here we see many more like in all sort of like sizes, and this is nice. Very nice. This is interesting. Let's try to zoom in. Nice, huh? They look like the one of my common representation of the starships. Like two circles, like one on top of the other. This is very nice. So yeah, this one is actually very dense in neros, in all sorts of sizes. Very good slide, good results. And not many life forms, which is great because it's not the focus of this. And so and also like it is to be expected that they will not be able to sustain any kind of fire. Again, they are not carbon based, but there is I get like a limit to how like durable they can be, the life forms. And the neros are completely different, like so. It makes sense that they are much more durable to any kind of like thing, including to heat. Like they have it is resistant. This one is so nice. Like I really like that. That it's got like geometric shape. Let's zoom in even more. I lost it. Nice. Okay, so let's quickly review the last one. The microscope is really requires like a calibration, because I mean the controls are very jittery, and of course it requires cleaning. But also, I mean, it's difficult to control it, as you can actually, I mean, you observed it like in the video. It's very jittery. Nice life form. Neo between the shadows. Okay, this is a creepy life form. Very big life form, and near to the left. To the left. We see some neos, not as much as we've seen in the previous slide, but still a sizable amount. They look weird, and I suspect it's because they're just, I mean, tainted by, I mean, the ash. They just, I mean, you can see just ash all over it and inside of them. But it's of course, it doesn't mean that they are sick or something. I mean, just, I mean, the mixture is full of ash. Okay, nice. Wow, okay, these are nice. Okay, so that's about it. Not a very interesting slide, but yeah, overall, I would say I'm not disappointed, because this was, I mean, now after like a very serious like lighting with more very dense like fuel and turpentine, and although it should be said that not all the fuel was of course burned. I don't let it burn all the way through. So this also might affect, like, I would say negatively the existence of life forms, but maybe these life forms actually enjoy, the comforts of like a base of P and turpentine and enriched alien wax. I don't know. Certainly, for the Neros, it doesn't seem that they have any problem with this kind of like materials, and yes, I can say that we've seen enough now to drive me to continue with this experiment. So I will conduct more lightning and more electrolysis. There is like a new problem now that there is just too much ash. Like burned material that I need to get out, but I want to get it out of the crucible without losing the Neros that presumably might hide in it. So I need to find a way to do it, and maybe there is no way. So I think about it, and also I probably will not have like the energy and time to do today, but I need to prepare the chimney, which is very important, because one of the major problems with the current setup is that I cannot put the symbols on their place when it actually burns. I can just put it like before and after. So it's less than optimal. And in order to be able to put the symbols on top, I need kind of like, to create a chimney. As I said, it will be like this roughly, it will be roughly like a little bit bigger than the whole crucible, like in its diameter and as high as I can. And that with holes in the wall of the chimney, where and the smoke will get out of these holes, like for the side, because on top there should be, the symbols should be visible, and they should be placed on kind of like a sealed roof, preferably from glass. So I need to find like a glass plate for this new setup, and this will allow us all, more flexibility with I'm under basically attack now. Israelis, I hate you. It will give us more flexibility in the crucible experiments, because we will be able to control the symbols, and also it will be a little hotter because of the pressure and more pressure. And this is something that actually I want to achieve, like to increase the pressure and to increase the temperature of the burning crucible. Please rescue me from this Nazi hell. I need to be rescued from this Nazi hell.